5 things you didn't know about Hurrem Sultan. Hurrem Sultan is perhaps the most famous queen in the history of the Ottoman Empire. She became well known to modern audiences through the Turkish series Magnificent Century. When you hear the name Harem, this is the image that comes to your mind. Hurrem Sultan played by the Turkish actress Meryem Üzerli. But what if we told you that Harem wasn't an exceptionally beautiful woman? She was known for her intelligence, political acumen, and charm, but not for her beauty. Well, there are many facts and stories that were not covered by the show. And in this video, we are going to look at 5 lesser-known things about Harem. 1. Harem's appearance. Although most of you believe Harem to be extraordinarily beautiful, some historical sources do not agree. Venetian ambassadors at that time described her as being attractive, but not beautiful, slender, or graceful. But the combination of her fine Slavic features and her unusual red hair must have made her unique among other women in the harem. Also, her name Harem meant joyful, or the laughing one in Persian. This name tells us a great deal about her cheerful nature and why Suleiman the Magnificent found her company so compelling. 2. How Hurrem Met the Sultan. One story about Harem describes that her first role was that of a laundress. In this rather romantic version of events, it was said that Suleiman walked past the part of the palace where Harem worked, and he was charmed by her lovely voice as she sang an old folk song. He stopped to talk to her and was struck by her happy-go-lucky nature and her ability to converse. 3. Hes Children. During that time, concubines were usually expected to have only one son with the Sultan, allowing them to focus on raising and educating him. This was also done to prevent the mother from having too much control over the Sultan and to avoid conflicts between brothers over the throne. However, Hurrem Sultan had 6 children with the Sultan, 5 boys and 1 girl. Mehmed, who was her firstborn son, Selim II, the only son who outlived his father and ascended the throne, Sehander, Bayezid, and Abdullah, who died in childhood. Meryem Sultan was Harem's only daughter. 4. Harem did not leave the palace as was tradition. Harem became the first woman to spend her entire life in the Sultan's court. Traditionally, a consort was expected to stay in the harem until her son reached the age of majority, after which she would accompany him to a distant province as he took on a governance role. This practice, known as Sancakbeyli, meant consorts were not allowed to return to Istanbul unless their son succeeded to the throne. Harem broke with tradition by remaining in the harem even after her sons left to rule the empire's distant territories. 5. Harem was the first woman to hold the title Haseki Sultan. Did you know that the title Haseki Sultan was actually created for Hurrem Sultan? The Ottoman title Haseki Sultan was the equivalent of a European queen consort. Before Hurrem Sultan, the Ottoman Empire had never had a titled queen. However, Suleiman the Magnificent changed tradition by freeing Harem from slavery and legally marrying her in a grand formal ceremony, becoming the first Ottoman Sultan to marry since Mehmed's reign and breaking a 200-year-old tradition that sultans should not marry their concubines. In this way, he elevated her status from favorite consort to queen consort. Did you know these surprising details about Hurrem Sultan? What other stories or facts have you heard about this legendary figure? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and click on the subscribe